It's over. The January transfer window has closed, and this record-breaking deadline day has proven to be the most dramatic there has ever been. Over £214 million has been spent, and it started this morning when Chelsea indicated to Liverpool that they would be prepared to meet their asking price for the striker Fernando Torres. It continued when Liverpool in turn engaged in a sustained piece of negotiation with Newcastle, which ended up with Kenny Dalglish paying a British record £35 million for the striker Andy Carroll. We've got the first picture of him with the Liverpool manager. He signed tonight, but it was a fee that sent shockwaves through English football and had many of you shaking your heads. Later in the day, it would emerge Chelsea had agreed a £50 million fee with Liverpool to take Torres from Anfield to Stamford Bridge on a 5.5-year deal. Both players then left their clubs to undergo medicals, and while that happened, lots of other clubs made their moves for other players. Blackpool held out to insist they wouldn't be selling to midfielder Charlie Adam to Liverpool, however, demanding up to £14 million. Liverpool refused to pay, and that was going to be the end of the players' dream of going to Anfield. But there was, as I say, other business going on, and this is the upshot of the last 14 hours of deadline day. Now, Fernando Torres is a Chelsea player, having signed on a 5.5-year deal. Defender David Luiz is also a Chelsea player. He too has signed on a 5.5-year deal. Liverpool have signed Carroll. He has signed on a 5.5-year deal, and he will wear the number 9 shirt at Anfield. But Charlie Adam, as we said before, he stays where he is despite late interest from Tottenham. Harry Redknapp has confirmed that Spurs agreed a deal with Blackpool for the player, outbidding Liverpool, but time ran out on the North Londoners. Sean Wright-Phillips at Manchester City, he stays where he is despite interest from Newcastle, Everton and Bolton. City only wanted to sell him. The other clubs wanted to take him on loan. The former Newcastle striker Obafemi Martins, he signed for Birmingham on a 6-month loan deal. The Dutch attacker Nasser Barazit, he's joined Austria Vienna on a free transfer from Arsenal. The midfielder Andy Reid, he's joined Blackpool until the end of the season. The young striker Ruben Rashina, he's been signed by Blackburn from Barcelona. Gerard Houllier at Aston Villa, he signed the Borussia Mönchengladbach midfielder Michael Bradley. And James Beattie, he's had a medical and signed for Blackpool from Rangers. But as for Spurs, they failed in their search for a new striker. No Aguero, no Llorente, no Negredo, and certainly no Giuseppe Rossi. Tottenham also failed in their bid to land the Everton captain Phil Neville, to make it a desperately disappointing day for White Hart Lane fans. Also disappointed were Newcastle, as well as missing out on Wright-Phillips. They made a £12 million bid for Charles N'Jogbia just half an hour before the 11 o'clock deadline. Why? Please, you tell me. They needed a striker. They'd been linked with the Paraguay striker Nelson Valdez, who plays for Hercules in Spain, but the man they made a bid for was N'Zogbia. The interesting thing was Birmingham had an £8.5 million bid accepted just before the end of the last transfer window in the summer. So Wigan, having seen Newcastle had just banked £35 million from the sale of Carroll, they clearly wanted more from the desperate Geordies. That didn't happen, but other deals that did go through. Ida Gudjonsson's loan deal completed from Stoke to Fulham until the end of the season. Giovanni Dos Santos joined Racing Santander from Tottenham Hotspur on loan until the end of the season. Birmingham, they confirmed the signing of the striker Obafemi Martins on a 6-month loan from Rubin Kazan. Blackpool, they signed the striker Sergei Kornilenko from Zenit St. Petersburg. Turkish forward Tunçay, we told you about him this morning. He completed his move from Stoke to Wolfsburg on a 3.5-year contract. And Stephen Ireland, there were problems with his medical. He was said to have failed it, but he has completed his loan move from Aston Villa to Newcastle for the rest of the season. Got a few more transfers for you as well. The Scottish champions Rangers, they've bolstered their ranks with the loan capture of the Arsenal defender Kyle Bartley, a real rising star. Blackburn, they've completed the signing of Barcelona academy graduate Ruben Rashina for an undisclosed fee. But it has all been about Chelsea. Torres, Liverpool and Andy Carroll. The British transfer record has been smashed twice. I'll be back with you tomorrow with all the fallout of this record-breaking deadline day. I'll also be bringing you all the results of our Premier League shirt competition and the winners of our Football Manager competition as well, right here on the Football Spy Show.